Hello everyone and welcome to today's cryptocurrency update for Monday, May 16th, 2022. I hope you all had a great weekend and are ready for the next week of tracking and potentially trading the cryptocurrencies. Today I'll do a big picture review of Bitcoin and Ethereum's Elliott Wave Count, which I kind of refound and reused, so to say, to see if everything is still on track, as well as for, of course, the short-term Elliott Wave Count. So let's have a look. Here is the big picture count I found thanks to following Credible Crypto. You got to follow Credible Crypto on Twitter. And this chart has eluded me for a while. So I've simply used his chart because somehow I can't get it to open in TradingView. Maybe I need to up my subscription level one more time. I don't know. So I've blatantly used his. But again, this was simply to match what I had. And we have all data available since 2010 is when crypto or Bitcoin started trading, I think. So it has been around now for 11 years. So as I've said before, a correction 4 to 6 to 1 year is months to 1 year is nothing for a cryptocurrency. It's been around, or Bitcoin, it's been around for a while. So we have cycle 1, cycle 2, can call it micro 1, micro 2, as long as you label everything after consistently with 1 degree lower, primary 1, primary 2, 2017, primary 3, 2018, primary 4, and now, in my humble opinion, in a subdividing wave 5 of cycle 3. That means once cycle 3 completes, and these are the log growth curves for Bitcoin, by the way, and there's zero indication that it's not following this log growth curve. It needs to close below the log growth curve for starters. So until proven otherwise, this remains in effect and fits the Elliott Wave Count. We are looking then for a major 5 of primary 5 of cycle 3 to top at around 150,000. That has been my long-term projection for a long time. Why? Because that was based on this chart, which I somehow was not able to find anymore. But again, thanks to Credible Crypto, we've had a little bit more data now filled in. So we are good. And this chart will be on the slides as a gentle reminder of where we are in the bigger picture. Once cycle 3 completes, we go to cycle 4. Now, I can argue that the November 2011 high was already cycle 3, and we're now in cycle 4. It's fine. That's what we keep tracking. For Ethereum, I prefer us to be in primary 5 of cycle 3 soon, etc. So we're trying to align things. And here we are looking, according to Credible Crypto, at a top somewhere in 2023, and then bad times ahead for cycle 4 in 2024, which would align with what I expect for the financial markets as well, especially since the currencies, the cryptocurrencies and the financial markets are more and more closely related in their Elliott Wave Count. Regardless, we're still looking for this bigger picture upside target. Now, is it in cycle 5 or not, to be determined? I think this is a very good time to take some chips off the table for the long-term investors, because cycle 4 will probably bring price back to where we were in about 2017. So that's not really something you want to sit through, another 90% correction. And then hopefully we can crypto see go to about 400,000 later on. Yes, that's still in the realms of possibilities. So arguably cycle 3 might have topped. That's the count that I've been tracking, but we're going to adjust this now to this one. Potato, potato, we track every single thing accordingly. So let's go on to the chart. So we now know the bigger picture, and I have the same bigger picture as I've had for Ethereum for a while. All right, here we go. Took 10 clicks. Shorter term first. For shorter term is then that we have a completed wave are in a third wave for this final C wave of the fourth wave, right? That's what we're looking for. Completion of a fourth wave and then a fifth wave to dazzling new all-time highs. Remember, everybody has left cryptos, right? We cannot have anybody like cryptos anymore before we can start our run to 100,000 plus. The retail investors will pour in when we're at the 100,000. They really will. We're tracking this every single day. We know exactly when we're going to bottom. So this is, I would say, the more bearish count shorter term compared to a slightly less bearish count shorter term for the Ethereum, where I'm tracking simply a 1 degree higher fourth wave. So it looks like we completed 3 of 3, and then 4, and then 5. That's my preferred view. It doesn't have to be this way. We can also be already in a larger fourth wave and then a fifth wave. So this is simply tracking the smallest of waves. I can go either way. That's the Elliott wave. Once we have completed a third wave to the downside, we'll get some sideways bounce type of price action, which will be overlapping. And so far it looks overlapping, so it looks like a fourth wave. We have no signs of a bottom in place, which will be at least one step lower. So this wave count, as I'm tracking for Ethereum, suggests one step lower and we're done with wave 4. Bitcoin says step lower, higher, lower. So this is more of a two-step process. Ethereum says a one-step process. Either way, it looks like we're getting very close to a very good long-term bottom. As I will show you for Binance Coin, as for Bitcoin, we need to break above downtrend lines at a minimum to suggest a new uptrend is in place. But the Elliott wave count will be miles ahead in telling us when we have completed 5 waves lower. That doesn't mean the low is in place, this wave 4. After 5 waves lower, always expect at the minimum 3 waves back up. So we will track it accordingly because we can always get subdivisions on our hand, though I doubt it. Then the 3 waves higher will be my alternative count, and the new wave 5 to Ethereum, I would say 10,000 plus or minus 2.5. Bitcoin 125 or 125 plus or minus 25,000 will be my preferred view. Yes, so we're getting very, very close to an important bottom, in my humble opinion. And it also shows me this new wave count that I'm tracking, that the overlap, even with 2017, is not direct a dead doer for Bitcoin, that it's over, not at all. That can, if we get that, then I am definitely more in the camp of a larger cycle 4, and then we get the cycle 5. So simply again, also here for Bitcoin, tracking 2 steps higher in the bigger picture versus, I would say, 1 more step higher. Easy peasy, right? That's what we're tracking, and it's good to follow both. Nothing is ever set in stone, and if you track both, you will know eventually when it's really lights out. But I don't think so. At the minimum, 1 leg higher. So please remember what the difference is between the short term versus the long term. Okay, short term is what we're looking at the daily chart. Long term is what we're looking for at the monthly chart, as I've showed you here for Ethereum. Cycle 1, cycle 2, can call it 3, 4, whatever you want to call it. And now in this larger wave 4, so far we've bottomed where I was hoping we would see a low. We can even go to as low as 1600 plus or minus 100. That would fit with the shorter term wave count as well. And then we should do wave 5, cycle 4, cycle 5. So this has been on the map, or on the chart in this case, ever since I started tracking Ethereum. And this continues to match, of course, quite nicely with the bigger picture Elliott wave count I had for Bitcoin. And I finally found what was lost. Let's see here. Sorry for the moving around between screens. That moves us then to Binance Coin. Binance Coin, I don't have the wave count since the B wave high, but we're clearly in a C wave. Okay. When do we know the C wave is over? Once we start moving above this downtrend line. Look how perfectly this has held all upside in check since the November high. So clearly, when we break above it, I think we have very good signs that this downtrend is over. Then we have a nice ABC for a larger fourth wave, ABC. So far, loud and clear, 3 waves lower, and we bottomed right at 206 and not below 205. So I think all things considered still looks pretty good for Binance Coin. Longer term, I still view this going to 1,000 plus. I do, unless we start breaking below 200 on a monthly basis. Yes, we can get a stab below it intraday or intra-week or even intra-month, so to say, of course, but that's fine. I'm looking for closing prices. So Binance Coin starts to wrap up also its 4th and 5th waves. Question now is, are we going to wrap up one 5th wave, or we're going to do a 5th, a 4th, and a 5th? Getting close. So please take that also into consideration, depending on your trading time frame, in my humble opinion. That doesn't mean I'm right. Know your stops. For example, if you say, I'm going to go long term, but we're still close below 205 on a monthly basis, maybe I want to go out. So it's always good to protect your profits. Somebody complained on my major market trading alerts that he had a losing trade that cost him 7% of a loss. Oh, great, we took a 7% loss because if we held on to it, we'd be down 50% by now. So no, you got to take those small losses on the chin to prevent the further downside, aka look at Luna. Solana, bigger picture as well. We're still correcting lower. In my own opinion, for a massive wave 4, can go all the way down to about the 20s or 40s. As we are seeing here now, this is the short-term wave count. Looks pretty good. Completion of 3, now a 4, and one last step lower would be great. For a wave 5, again, back to about $1.30, $1.20. Those are the support zones. We're holding 35 right now, which is very close to the 161.8% extension. So it looks good. Once we break above this downtrend line, which gets us also back above support that I told you, if it would break, we target to the 40s, and that happened. Once we get above it, I think this downtrend is over and we start looking for the new uptrend. So that looks all, I think, really good. So quick summary, I still think Bitcoin has more to go, that this is still a regular correction within a strong bullish uptrend. I can simply not count 5 waves higher. At the minimum, we need a 1 leg higher advance. That's the minimum. Ideally, a 2 leg higher advance, bringing us to much, much higher prices. So we're going to track both. Now I'm talking about the long term. Okay, so please always keep in mind what we're tracking in the long term versus what we're tracking in the short term. Short term, still tracking this potential 4, 5, 3, 4, 5 setup versus 1 step lower and we're done. We'll know soon enough. None of these cryptocurrencies have broken above any moving averages that are of any significance. As you know, the trend is your friend. It's still lower. We're not even above the 50-day, the 200-day, no need to show it. So all of them are still pointing lower, and all of this is still considered corrective until I think we see at least 1 step lower, and then it's really alert time, so to say, for these cryptocurrencies, because then we've done the bare minimum to suggest that this 4th wave is complete. Be it a primary 4, a major 4, cycle 4, whatever you want to call it. Ethereum, I'm still looking for a primary 5, cycle 4, cycle 5. That has been the case. That matches now nicely once again with Bitcoin. And we can argue that potentially for Bitcoin, this is a cycle 4, but I think the cycle 4 will have to last a little bit longer. We'll deal with it once we get there. So when we eventually get to 100,000 plus, then it might not be a bad idea to take some chips off the table, raise stops, all those good things, because we can have completed cycle 5, or we're going to do a cycle 4 for Bitcoin, which can bring us back to the 2017 highs, and that's not fun to sit through. Rinse, lather, repeat. That's pretty much what I'm pointing at. Okay, so that's all I have for today. Short, sweet, simple. Take care, trade safe. See you all on Wednesday.